内が命。久しぶりだな、サスケ。
My name is Morgan, and I got mocked by rich girls while shopping at a thrift store. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell icon. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us a lot. Stephanie barely even looked up from her video chat as she drifted into our family's convenience store. Stephanie is one of the rich girls from my school who has everything made. She has the looks. She has the money. Well, access to other people's money. And she really seems to think that she and her posse are popular. Oh my God. Becky, Sandra, oh my God. You will not believe who I found slumming it up here at this trashy supermarket in the Reeds. Tell us, Stephsy Pooh. Spill the tea. Now, I was already used to the incessant mocking at school, but I had hoped beyond all hope that nobody from school would ever find out that I worked at my dad's store. See, our family isn't poor, but finances are far from sorted. When I was old enough to work, my parents offered to have me help out in the store. At first, it was only on holidays and weekends, but once I showed that I was responsible and reliable, they let me take shifts in the school week as well. So, in short, I have to be thrifty to make do. The impatient elderly lady I was helping at the checkout cleared her throat loudly and was really starting to look impatient now. I'm so sorry, ma'am. This will only take a moment. I stared straight into Stephanie's soulless, beady eyes. Stephanie, I know this must be impossible for you to imagine, but some people might feel guilty when they constantly mooch off their boyfriend's bank account. Everyone in the store started applauding, and Stephanie ran out of the store with tears in her eyes. At least, that's what I wish I did. Instead, I simply stared blankly at her, while Sandra and Becky insulted me over voice chat. The lady in the line gave up on trying to get my assistance and moved over to another cashier as Stephanie and her gang continued their tirade. What are you even wearing, doll? Did you find that at a homeless shelter? Did you steal that from the thrift store? Why do you need to work anyways? Are you that poor? All my life, I tried to be strong, independent, fierce. But in that moment, I couldn't take it anymore, and I made a run for it. Looks like we have a runner, I heard behind me as I locked myself in the bathroom and cried for what felt like hours. I knew that my suffering was all recorded and that I would be the topic of memes at school for weeks. I was right. It took over a week for everyone to forget about me and move on with their lives. Even then, I was now known as Motel Morgan, since everyone thought I was cheap and poor. I didn't really have anyone at school I could call my friend, and since I worked most afternoons, I rarely got a chance to myself. So, a short while later, when I had an afternoon off, I wanted to treat myself. Just because I prefer to live frugally and keep mostly to myself does not mean I don't know how to have a good time. I made my way over to a shopping center in the middle of town that has a healthy variety of thrift stores, where I like shopping whenever I have time off. When I go to these stores, I always dream that this must be what it's like to be rich, to not have any problems. After visiting a few shops and picking up a selection of bargains, I was already feeling much better. The last shop on my trip was my favorite, as they support local charities with their profit, and they always have great stuff to boot. I was strolling around the aisles, going through all the beautiful dresses, when I realized that I was being watched. I could faintly hear metallic voices nearby, as if from right behind me. But whenever I checked, there was nobody but the cute clerk at the counter playing on his phone. Shaking off the feeling, I walked over to a beautiful garment that caught my eye. It was stunning, and I simply had to have it. I made my way into the fitting room, and it fits perfectly. This dress was made for me. I wanted a second opinion, so I wandered out of the changing room, hoping that the clerk might help me out. We're just here filming our $1,000 thrift store challenge. Look who we found. There she is, guys. It's Motel Morgan shopping for her prom dress at the thrift store. Becky and Sandra were waiting to ambush me outside the changing room with their phones out, filming and live stream. Stephanie's rich boyfriend, Mark, was also there, apparently paying for everything, as usual. Am I cheap? Ugly? A moment ago, I felt so happy to have found this dress, but now I was right back to feeling miserable. Ew! Do they even wash these, or do you just not care? Shut up, Becky. Clearly she can't afford running water if she has to shop here. Oh my God, that is so disgusting! Oh my God. I forced my way past them to the clerk, grabbed a $20 bill from my purse, and dumped it on the counter. After that, I remember only tears as I ran to the bus stop. I was still wearing the dress, which now became the next trauma totem in my life. About a week later, while I was at work, Mark ended up at the checkout I was serving. He waited until everyone in the line dispersed before talking to me. "Can you take a quick break?" I was nervous to speak to him since he was so close to Stephanie. I didn't know if this was just another elaborate ploy to humiliate me. "I know you don't trust me, but I have a proposition for you, and I think you stand to benefit greatly from it." He put a $20 bill on the counter and sent an adorable wink my way. Can't really say no to that, can I? But how do I know we're alone? He smiled and put his phone on the counter too, unlocking it to prove that there were no shenanigans afoot. "I don't know if you know, but I just broke up with Stephanie." "Yeah, I know. Devastating. Anyways, she's really not taking the news well, so I thought I could use your help. If you could pretend to be my girlfriend, I'll make it worth your while." My heart started to race. Is this really happening? Mark is so cute, and now he needs something from me? I accept! I squealed as we added each other and sent each other obligatory emojis. We started to hold hands and kiss in public and hang around together at school, flaunting our newfound love in front of everybody. It wasn't long before Stephanie showed up. "Excuse me, but what do you think you're doing?" "Mark! What about our holiday in Paris that you promised? And who's gonna buy me the diamond bracelets you promised for our month anniversary? Do I mean nothing to you? Would you really rather spend your time with this podunk trashy misfit motel girl?" She looked incredibly upset that I had the audacity to exist. Mark looked sad, but he clearly also had enough of her tirades. "Look, I just don't think it's going to work out for us, babes. Besides, if I get married to you, my family would be broke before I finish the school year. By all means, go to Paris. The tickets are already paid for anyway. But you're gonna have to go on your own. Take Becky or something." Her mouth was left agape while she stared daggers right at me. Taking my cue, I locked lips with Mark and played my part. Stephanie stormed off in a fit of rage, leaving us in each other's embrace. One day, Mark just dumped a bag of cash in front of me. "What's this?" "Your salary." "What? This is too much. What is this, like 100 grand? "Thereabouts. And there's gonna be more of that once a week. I just want us to hang out more, and don't worry. That's much less than Stephanie would take out of my account every day." I thought we would end things after getting rid of Steph, but Mark seemed interested in taking things further. And in the time we spent together, we actually realized we had a lot in common. Mark even donated to the thrift stores regularly. After a while, I finally had enough saved up to make my own way, my way. I started small, buying up a thrift shop in the shopping center and making minor improvements in how they worked. Soon, I learned from my experience and expanded to buy up more of the shops. Now, in my final year, I own more property than my parents and just bought the entire shopping center where all my stores are located. I haven't needed or asked Mark for money in a long time, as the little I got from him was enough to get me started. One day, some hopeful applicants approached my office. "Excuse me, ma'am. I'm here for the vacancy you have in your management staff." "Oh, my God. Morgan? Is that you?" I was never expecting to see Stephanie in my office, but there she was, looking like a sack of potatoes that fell out of a truck on the highway. "I really need a favor, Morgsy. Morgana. Please, Morgan, after Mark and I parted ways, I found myself in a bit of a financial pickle, you see. Daddy cut me off. At first it was fine because we just used Beck's and Sandra's cards to get by, and trust me, we were being so frugal. We only shopped at H&M, but eventually their parents cut them off too, and we had to open up our own accounts. Now I stand before you, humbly asking, begging for a position so I can earn my own way in this world." I took my time savoring the moment and eventually broke the silence. I have one position available here at the shopping center and 2 at my new business next to the highway, but I don't know if you are qualified. It's called the Motel Morgan. Perhaps you've heard of it. I will never forget Stephanie's face as she left my office with her signed contract to fill the position of janitor at Motel Morgan as I called out, "Next! Becky, Sandra, how can I help?